Aloha. This is a really quick screencast to give you a sense for uh, how things look when you've deployed an application. Now, it's really important um, that you first look at the deploying an application or data in a Meteor application in development mode, because there you're going to see that on the client side, you can inspect data using Chrome developer tools, and on the server side, you use Robo3T to connect to the database MongoDB um, server process that's running at localhost 3001. Okay, so once you've deployed your application, things look a little different. And that's what this I'm going to kind of highlight the differences in the screencast. I'm not going to go into the source code and show you publications and subscriptions, all that stuff, which is vitally important. You need to look at that screencast for that stuff. I just want to highlight the kind of the architecture and how it's a little different, because now what you can see here is that I'm running digits, but instead of running the digits at localhost 3000, I'm actually on the internet. I'm going to test deployment pmj22.meteorapp.com, and I've logged in as john@foo.com, and I'm listing contacts. Okay, so this is super great. It's not localhost. Anybody in the world can connect to your application, which is what you want. Second thing to note is that client side, like zero has changed. You're still accessing your application from within a browser. So on the client side, you open up Chrome Developer Tools, you click to the Meteor tab, you click on Mini Mongo, and you can see what's there. And then you can see that every time you navigate from one page to the next, the contents of Mini Mongo is going to change depending upon the subscriptions that are part of that particular page. Okay, so that all works just the way it did before. What's different is the server side data and the server side database, because now we don't have that localhost 3001, that local Mini Mongo database. Instead, we have a database running at mongodb.com, okay, or Atlas, and we're using the free tier. Okay, so over here, once you've set up your database and you've deployed your application, you can click on collections, and yeah, it's loading. So then the collections kind of come up. It retrieves a list of databases and collections, which takes some period of time. It's a free tier, so I guess we should not feel bad about having to wait a little bit. And here's your contacts database. Okay, so it comes up like that. Okay, and just for grins, I've also connected to this same Atlas MongoDB database using Robo3T, just to show that I can. Okay, so you could use Robo3T to access both your development database running locally as well as your deployed database. If you want to use the same interface, you don't have to. Okay, you can just use the browser-based database. It's a little bit of a pain to set this up, not a big pain, but I do have documentation for that you can access, just to show you can get that. Okay, but you can basically do all the same kinds of interactions in a browser. And so that's how you access the remote database. So let's just do something here. Okay, let's go to digits. Let's edit. I'm going to say I am a very old professor of information and computer sciences. So I'll click submit. Success. Item is updated successfully. So let's go here, and we can see in order to this particular hasn't been updated yet, we have to click the refresh button. So we'll click refresh contents, and now you can see here I am a very old professor. All right, so that change is now manifested in the backend database. And in fact, what we could do, we could click on edit. I've never done this before, but I assume it'll work. I can get rid of that. I am a professor. I'm a youthful at heart professor. Um, and then we'll click update. Document is updated. Let's go back here and see what the deal is. Look at that. I am a youthful at heart professor. Okay. So, and then if I click, list context, I am a youthful at heart professor. So here's an example, really, of reactivity. So as soon as the database was updated by another client, in this case, the client was my browser running, this interface to the backend database. Meteor was monitoring the database and then sent those changes back and updated all of the state of my client appropriately without me having to do anything. So that's kind of nice. And I can click on this, and I can see in here I am a youthful at heart professor of information computer science. That's really all I want to say for this screencast. Is I just want to give you the vibe of how you're going to be working with deployed data. All right, you're going to have to use another interface to MongoDB, or you're going to have to interface to MongoDB through the Atlas system, inspect your data that way. On the client side, same as it ever was.